minute. Okay, so for question one, we have an equation, 20d plus 0.7m equals 235. D is the number of days she rented the van, and M is the number of miles. If she rented the van for 3 days, how many miles did she drive the van? So we have 20, replacing D with 3 plus 0.7m equals 235. 20 times 3 is 60 plus 0.7 equals 235. So 235 minus 60. So you subtract 60 from both sides, gets you 0.7m equals 175. Divide both sides by 0.7, and you get m equals 250. So the correct answer is B. Okay, question two. Okay, for question two, x equals 3, y equals x plus 3. What is the solution x, y? So we just plug in x equals 3, so y equals x, which is 3, plus 3, y equals 6. The solution would be x, y, so 3, comma 6. Correct answer is A. Okay. Question three. Okay, so for question three, we got negative 0.5x plus 56 as our function. Um, this is x days after November 1st. What is the temperature? 6 days after November 1st. So x equals 6. So negative 0.5 times 6 plus 56. This is just negative 3 plus 56, which is 53, which is answer choice D. Okay, question uh 4. Okay, so for question four, we have a table, we have graphs. So what's the easiest point? Probably these two. So x is 0, y is negative 2. So 0, nope, that's 0, 0. That's 0, negative 1. 0, negative 2, that's fine. 0, positive 1, no. Okay, so the answer is C. And we have negative 2, 0, negative 1, 0, negative, or 0, negative 2, and 1, 0. Yep. So the correct answer is C. Okay, question 5. Okay, so for question 5, what percentage of 40 is 15? So I just take a 15 and then you divide by 40, and that gets you 0.375, which you multiply by 100 to get percent, which is 37.5%, which is answer is B. Okay, question 6. Okay, so for this question, we have 27 pints of fuel for 63 miles traveled. How many pints of fuel if they travel 7 miles? Okay, so in this case, the conversion factor would just be from 63 divided by some value, which will be the conversion factor equals 7. So this to get that, we just do 63 divided by 7, which is 9. So 63 divided by 9 is 7. So we just do 27 divided by 9 to get this value, which would just be 3. So the correct answer is D. Okay, question 7. Okay, so for question seven, 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup. How much is 40 cups? So we just take 40 multiplied by 8. That gets us 320. So the correct answer is D. Okay, question 8. Okay, so for question 8, one of the trees will be selected at random from the sample. So there's a sample of 13 in total. So the denominator would be 13. What is the probability that it's greater than 30? So we have 30, and we need to look above this line. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 13, which is answer choice C. Okay, question 9. Okay, so for question 9, how many choosing sample are greater than the number predicted by line of best fit? So basically, how many points are above the line? So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. So the correct answer is C. Okay, question 10. Okay, so for question 10, we're asked to find density. So density is just the mass over the volume, D equals m over V, which means we take 18.5 over 2.5, which would be equal to 7.4. So correct answer is B. Okay, question 11. Okay, so for question 11, if we add a new square of 18, how would the mean and median change? So in this case, the median would be 5. And then if we add 18, the new median would be also 5 still. So in this case, the median did not change, and since 18 is larger than all the other values, the mean would have to increase, since mean is more affected by extreme values such as 18, at least comparative to the rest of this data set, 18 is considered an extreme value. So the mean increased and the median did not change. Okay, question 12. Okay, so for question 12, which of the following equations is the most permanent linear model for the data shown? Well, the slope is not negative, at least, so it's not B. But in this case, we have a line, maybe something like this, sort of. Um, so in that case, it's probably A. 9 plus 3 over 10x. We can check it. So let's use x equals 50. So 50 times 3 is 150 over 10, which is 15. So 15 plus 9 is 24. So 24 at about 50. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate. And we have 9. So yeah, that seems like A is the right answer. For C and D, they both start at 0, which if we draw a line like that, there's a lot of early data points that end up being above the line. So I would say the correct answer is A. Okay, question 13. Okay, so for question 13. For similar triangles, you either have to have a corresponding all of the angles of the triangle be corresponding or all of the side lengths be corresponding. So in this case, we're given one angle, so we also need another angle. Because the third angle we can find out just based on the side lengths. So 180 equals side length AB and C, or angle AB and C. So in this case, we just need one other side length, or not side length, the angle, because we already have one angle. So in this case, um, we need another angle, so answer is C. The length of any of the lines won't help because having one length isn't enough to determine if they're similar. Like you need you need at least two side lengths and an angle, or you need three side lengths, or alternatively, you just need two angles. Okay, question 14. Okay, so for question 14, for us to find the value of x over 5 plus 1 over 2, I'm just going to call this as function z. So in this case, we have 3, and then we have the same thing, x over 5 plus 1 over 2. So I'm just going to call this 3z plus 1 equals 10. We're asked to find the value of z. So we subtract 1 from both sides, we get 3z equals 9. Divide both sides by 3, and we get z is equal to 3. So correct answer is B. If you don't have to solve for x, don't, because that would make this too difficult. Question 15. Okay, so for question 15, we have an exponential function for what value is f of x 0? F of x is just y equals 0. So y, we have y 0, and that's x equals negative 2. So answer is C. Okay, question 16. Okay, so for question 16, the half-life is 8 days. That means every 8 days it halves from the last time. So we have original, 8 days it's half, and then I guess we'll say this the line. And then it halves again, halves again, etc. What is this graph? It's an exponential decreasing graph. So the answer is D, exponential decreasing graph. Okay, question 17. Okay, so for question 17, when we're trying to find the equation of a circle, this would just be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. In this case, we don't have an h and a k because the center is at 0, 0, so we just have x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared. The radius is 2, so 2 squared would just be 4. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 4, which is in choice B. Okay, question 18. Okay, so question 18. First we need to simplify this. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3. So what times what is negative, or what times what is 3? Well, the only two things that can multiply to that is positive 3 and 1. So we have x 1 and x and 3. And we have to have 3 and 1 add up to positive 2. So this would just be plus 3 and minus 1 because positive 3 minus 1 is 2. So that gets us x squared minus x, 3x minus 3. So that's x squared plus 2x minus 3. So that means that this top function simplifies into x minus 1, x plus 3 equals 0, because we still have this equals 0 here. So which of the following could be a value of x plus 3? Well, x plus 3 equals 0. So the correct answer is C, because these are the two intercepts of the quadratic function. So in this case, we have a quadratic function, and these are the two intercepts. So at x plus 3, it would actually equal 0. So correct answer is C. Okay, question 19. And sorry, someone had set it to C14 again, so let me just show 14 for a second. This was 14. So basically, we just simplified x over 5 plus 1 over 2 as z, and then 3z plus 1 equals 10. Subtract 1 from both sides is 9. So divide both sides by 3, you get z equals 3. Okay, anyway, back to question 19. Okay, so for question 19, uh, if a respondent who was selected at random disagrees, what is the probability that there are at least 45? So our total would be 548, and at least 45, so that would be 45 to 64 and 65 and up, so these two. So we have 201 plus 102 over the total, which is 548. So in this case, we would have uh 303 over 548. which is 0.55. So correct answer is D. Okay, question 20. Okay, so for question 20, which of the following defines this relationship between x and y? So in this case, when x goes from 1 to 2 or from 0 to 1 and 1 to 2, y seems to increase from 0 to 2k plus 2 and from 2k plus 2 to 4k plus 2. So in this case, the slope is positive, and it should be 2, positive 2, because when it goes from 1 to 2, you go from 2k plus 2 to 4k plus 4, so if we just take 2k plus 2, and if we multiply by 2, we get 4k, and then 2 times 2 is plus 4. So 4k plus 4, which is correct. So in this case, the slope should be positive 2. Um, so it's not C or D because they have negative 2, and it's not B because there's no 2 in here, so the correct answer should be A, and we can also check this. So when x is equal to 1, we have 2 times 1, which is 2, so 2k plus 2, yep, that's correct. And then when x is equal to 2, we have 2 times 2 is 4, so 4k plus 4, yep. And then when x is 0, we have 2 times 0, which is 0, anything times 0 is 0. So the correct answer is A. Okay, last question for today. question 21. Okay, so for question 21, given that object B has a mass of 1.01x, so what is the ratio of mass of object A to object B? Basically, it's just asking us to get rid of the decimal. So in this case, we take x and 1.1x and we multiply both by 10. So that gets us 10x equals 11x. So the ratio is 10 to 11. So correct answer is D. And it's time, so